stock market. Oh, man. Woo!
Jeremy Lafifi, I feel like you're mad at me. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. My name is Christopher Belly. I'm a certified CPA accountant. I'm a long-term boglehead investor. I'm author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. And we gotta talk about Jeremy LaFoo-Foo trashing on the VT ETF again. This time on Millennial Money. I actually like how he's like staring at the screen right now, like, oh my God, Strongman, no. We're gonna listen to little Foo-Foo talk about VT because he's directly talking to me, Strongman. That's right. This massive successful YouTuber is so bothered by a guy with barely 7,000 subscribers, almost 7,000 subscribers, that he's got a bitch about it on Millennial Money. So let's watch.
Though so much could change like so quickly. It could be true up until the point where something happens outside of your control. Like let's say the Russia-Ukraine invasion. All of a sudden now, you could have been correct if it were not for that one thing that happened, and then it continues forward longer than expected. Right. So it's so tough to make any prediction like that.
Yeah, there's so much jealousy out there, I think, from folks that maybe are cash usually or in what's usually seen as safer investments, from those that have been making a lot of money in the growth stocks and Bitcoin.
I'm jealous, bro. He's talking about me. Jeremy, you really think I am jealous where I have doubled my money in the last 10 years, and you just lost 100% of your investment on Voyager? You're a moron, dude. I literally called this because it was so easy to predict. You buy a bunch of unprofitable share diluting trash during a speculative frenzy after we cut interest rates and print freaking money and give stimmy checks to clowns like you. And then you go ahead and get freaking shocked when your clown stocks get absolutely annihilated. That was so hard to predict, Jeremy LaFoo-Foo. Yeah, I'm so jealous, bro. I'm going to have a nice retirement. I'm comfortable with my investments. I don't stay up at night worrying about my investments. I sleep very soundly. Do I look stressed? Compared to you, loser, you constantly stressed. You constantly worried. You got bags under your eyes. You got bags bouncing off your nuts. That's right, you got a schlong in your ass from a trucker. You're hating your life, bro. Who's living the better life? Me.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, different things like that, where they become very resentful, right? I mean, I was looking at VT, for instance. VT.
Why are you looking at VT, Jeremy? That's interesting.
In the past 14 years is only up like 72%,
what is
73%.
VT?
That's like a...
First of all, Jeremy LaFoo-Foo, you're such a moron that you don't even understand that dividends are not included in the stock charts, okay? VT is up more than whatever number you just spouted out of your ass. Because when dividends are paid out, the stock price, or all the underlying stocks in the index, go down whenever they pay their dividends. If you reinvest the dividends, you actually have much greater returns than you think. And remember, LaFoo-Foo, VT consists of every stock in the world. All those hyper-growth stocks, I have them. Just not in massively concentrated clown portions, okay? I have Apple, I have Microsoft, I have Amazon, and guess what? I also have international stocks. Because I don't know if you knew this, you dumbass. Markets go in cycles. Sometimes international outperforms, sometimes US outperforms. We've just had a decade or more of US outperformance. Which market do you think is overvalued? The US stock market, which is 70% of the world's market cap, but we only produce 25% of the GDP? Or maybe is international stocks, are they in a bubble? I don't know. The next 10 years will tell us, Jeremy. But if I had to place my bets, I would bet that international is going to outperform U.S. stocks over the next 10 years. And then at some point in the future, it's going to rotate. But I don't have to time the rotation because I own them all. You see the point, Jeremy?
Total stock market index.
VTI.
No, VT.
Oh, sorry.
Which is
VTI
looking
is the
at the
ETF
world
version. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, VT is the world version. Got it. Yes.
Yeah, and so if you've been averaging throughout the years, and let's say you added $100 a month, $1,000 a month, you've hardly made any money, especially when you consider against...
Look, when you're accumulating in an ETF, the shares that you buy that are in the recent past, yeah, you're probably not going to make money off of them because it takes time for your wealth to compound, loser. But the shares you bought 10 years ago, yeah, you've made a freaking killing. It's all about buying the index and holding the index for the long run. I don't want a 2x in 5 freaking days. You want to know why, LaFufu? Because that means you probably bought a clown stock or a cryptocurrency that's going to crash right back down. Or get freaking wrecked like you did with Voyager and Nordic American Tankers and GoPro, and the freaking list goes on. Very good food company. Where does it freaking end, LaFufu? But here you haven't made any money. I don't know. I seem to have multiple 6 figures in my retirement accounts, and I don't sell a massive grift course up to $20,000. I'm just a normal guy. But through diligent saving in tax-advantaged accounts and buying VT, I have done extremely well. And if U.S. stocks underperform in the next decade, I'm going to crush clowns like you. I already have crushed you. You're in the red for long-term returns, you loser. Oh, but VTs, you've almost made no money. It hasn't beat inflation. You idiot. I literally just did a video showing how VT has crushed inflation. 60% of VT is the U.S. stock market. The U.S. stock market has freaking killed it. And international has actually had positive returns. It's massively underperformed the U.S. stock market in the near term, but it still had positive returns as well. Yes, you freaking disingenuous moron. I have beat inflation, okay? What? No, you haven't. Guess what, Jeremy? Have you beat inflation? No. All your stocks are down massively because you're a moron. You're a loser.
It's the inflation, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's just a lot of jealousy.
Andre's like, yeah. I just bought NFTs, and I wonder what those are worth now. But that's still better than VT, right? Because I could do magic tricks. Peekaboo, peekaboo. I'm Andre Dick. Peekaboo.
Jealousy out there.
How much would you make on that?
No.
Jealousy. I love that I'm getting to him, man. I love that I'm getting to this man. He knows I'm right. I mean, if I was totally wrong and full of crap, you think he would care? No. When somebody criticizes me and says something stupid like, oh, VT's trash. VT doesn't beat inflation. Do I get mad and like stew on it at night? No, because it's stupid. I don't get bothered. But you know he's getting really pissed at me. And he's really getting hit hard because I'm speaking the truth, guys. I'm speaking the truth.
Not very much, because if you, I took it back as far as you could view it on TradingView, which was 2008. So it was only up 73%. So imagine throughout time,
excluding dividends, dumbass.
and you kept averaging every month. You know, you kept dollar cost averaging, buying. I think
The shares that I bought a long time ago have appreciated. The shares that I bought recently have not appreciated or have gone down. But over time, I'm buying the average of the market, fair market value, as I average in. And over the long run, all those shares that I bought 10 years ago and eventually 20 years ago and 30 years ago, those are going to be worth a lot more, Jeremy, and including reinvested dividends. You're not going to 10x. You're basically saying that VT hasn't gone up massively because the shares I bought recently have not 2x'd. Dude, you're not supposed to 2x with VT. You're supposed to mitigate your taxes, have maximum diversification, and not lose all your money in clown stocks like Voyager Digital, you freaking loser. Shut up.
I think your average cost would be somewhere between 65 and 75. Somebody calculated the numbers. And then
So, he had one of his minions calculating the numbers. I'll go show you my my Vanguard account. I mean, I've doubled my money. I don't know. I did a lot of buying in like 2014, 2015. I don't know. I seem to be doing pretty good, but you know, I haven't 2x'd in 5 seconds, so I guess I'm a loser.
if you take into the account what inflation has done over the past 14 years, you likely would have been in the green, but it would have been like this much, which is incredible.
Do you know the yield
but that's
on it?
also
And even if that was true, which it's not, you own every stock in the world. You're going to beat inflation. Okay, whatever. Even if that was true, who freaking cares? He's down massively.
2008. I mean, that's like the peak. That's near the peak of the market.
That was already
you know?
crashing. Yeah,
but it
was
crashed in 2008. The market didn't bottom until 2011.
Yeah, but
so you had like
also-
You can pick whatever time frame you want. It doesn't matter. The point is, I have maximum diversification, and I'm positioned to potentially outperform the U.S. stock market over the next 10 years. And clowns like this, I don't know what's going to happen to them.
3 years of the beginning investments being in a loss before.
No.
Like, had you started, I think, in 2011.
No,
it'd be a
I think
different story.
2011 is the real estate market.
Oh, and by the way, I actually started in around 2012, LaFufu. But, you know, you just randomly selected your time period. I've basically been riding this whole bull market the whole way, and I seem to have a lot of money. I don't know. It's almost like living below your means and maxing your tax-advantaged accounts and not losing your money on Voyager Digital will result in success.
Yeah, you're thinking about real estate market.
No,
the
I'm
stock
thinking the
market,
S&P.
Nope.
The S&P dropped.
No,
50%.
no. Stock market bottomed in
Let's see.
February
All
of
right,
2009.
whip out the phones.
Oh, I'm 100% certain.
Yeah.
The S&P bottomed in February 2009. Okay, I'm 100% certain.
2009, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like February,
VT,
maybe
right?
March.
Or the S&P.
The entire market, everything, Nasdaq.
I still get. He had one of his minions check up on VT. I love it, Jeremy. I love it. Whatever, man. You're right. I'm just a moron. I mean, VT's been up over the last 10 years, and all your stocks are down 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%. But I'm an idiot, bro. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, the S&P was 1,400 in January of 2008, and then 2009 was $683.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the price of eggs.
2009 was the lowest point.
My point being, it took you all the way until 2000, basically 2013,
That's
early
January.
2013.
Trading View.
Man, Jeremy's getting owned by a simple fact check. Graham, you're a freaking hero. You know you're working with the loser. Just admit it, bro. Come over to the lights. Come over to the lights. Join Paladin Bell on his quest to slay the demonic undead lich, known as Jeremy LaFrico.
View goes back to like summer.
Right.
But
so basically,
Jeremy, VT hit a low in
five,
March 2009.
5 years.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right. But it stayed through those lows.
Yeah, so you can do the math.
It took 5 years, basically, for your money to break even on that. But that's only the original investment. That's not counting.
Yeah, so you think about all the years you're
dividends.
buying when it's obviously much higher than that, right? Because you're going to be buying at much steeper prices. So the fact...
Yes, Jeremy. For the last time, if I bought VT yesterday, yeah, I'm not going to make a bunch of money on it. It takes time, loser. God.
Is if you were consistently buying that the past 14 years, you've hardly made any money.
Right.
That's got to hurt over 14
What
years.
about the
Man, I'm hurting, guys. I don't know. I mean, I'm just freaking poor. You know, max your tax advantage accounts and buy index funds. Mitigate your taxes. Loser.
dividend?
Jeez.
There's no dividend.
Yeah, there is. 2.4%.
Google stocks.
Of course there's a dividend, you freaking morons. See, Graham once again proves them wrong. Oh, there's a dividend? You mean an ETF that has every stock in the world has a dividend? What?
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Okay. 2.4. Okay,
That's not 2.5% a year.
Usually whenever you got to start worrying about dividends, you know you lost as an investment. It's like,
What? Now, I'm not saying dividends are great, but dividends are part of total return. I don't like dividends, but they are part of your total return because the stock price goes down by the amount of the dividend, and you incur some tax. But you gotta factor in the dividend too, you freaking moron. Dividends!
like, well, what about the dividends?
It's given a juicy 2.4%.
That's a huge part of freaking returns. That's almost like all your returns, moron. God. Oh, God. Someone save me. This guy has a massive platform. What is wrong with this world?
Yeah, but that's an addition. But that's an addition to the growth.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not.
So
much.
I mean, if I could choose, I would rather just an additional 2.5% versus a dividend.
Yeah.
But all things considered, when you're investing in a basket,
index
you're gonna get dividends. Though.
An index fund that mirrors like the Nasdaq 100 or the S&P 500 would have dominated VT.
Okay, Jeremy. I know. Everybody knows that, okay? But in your little pea brain, you look at the past and you say, well, over the last 10 years, QQQ has done better. So I'm going to buy the stuff that has massively outperformed. This is like kindergarten level freaking logic, guys. If I had the same logic, I'd be 100% QQQ, which would be the dumbest freaking thing. Look how hard some of those stocks have fallen. Look at freaking Meta. That could happen to all the big dogs. All of them. Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. It could happen because they are expensive and massively overvalued. But you know what? He's got more money than me, so I don't know. I guess he's made more money than me through grifting.
You know,
But that's in hindsight. I mean, you don't know though. There are decades where
And guess what? Going into the future, I guarantee you, almost guarantee you, international is going to outperform. But guess what? If I'm wrong, I still have US stocks too. You see how this VT thing works? It's beautiful.
International outperforms the US.
Yeah.
But you don't know. It's like in hindsight, of course, like, oh, had you gone all in QQQ, you would have made a killing.
Yeah.
But
And just think about it. Jeremy was born and raised in the United States. Of course, he's invested in the stock market, the U.S. stock market. He has benefited from the U.S. stock market doing well over the past 10 years. Most Americans have. Most people invest in their own companies, our own country's stock market, more than they do international, which has worked out well for him. Well, not for him, but for Americans in general. But in the future, what do you think's going to happen? Honestly, massive outperformance versus massive underperformance. You think there's going to be some kind of reversion? You think U.S. stocks can just go up, 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 up forever and ever, become 100% of the world's market cap? I don't know. I'm a moron. The longer the time goes on and the more clownish U.S. stocks are, the more I am convinced that I should stay in VT. I have no doubt in my mind. I love international. It makes me feel so good that I have international stocks in my portfolio.
but you don't know in the moment.
Yeah, it's not good when it's over a 14-year span, though. Short term, you can get caught up in anything, right? You can lose money, you can make money, but over 14 years,
here's what I would love to see, though. Like, so all the people making predictions of like, oh, I told you, the market was going to crash. Like, their usual advice is like, sit.
Anyway, I think that's about it. Jeremy's a moron. You can still listen to him if you want, but that's your choice. But I'll talk to you later. Cheers!